you've never been introduced to this bridge before, let me tell you what this bridge is. This bridge is called the Choluteca Bridge. The Choluteca Bridge is in Honduras. Now, it's a bridge that spans 500 meters, and it's well known not just for its size and not just for the fact that it's a replica of the Golden Gate Bridge that I just told you about that is in America, but it's even more famous, or I should say infamous, as another bridge. This Choluteca Bridge is referred to as the bridge to nowhere. That's what it's famous for. That's what it's known for, the bridge to nowhere. And you may ask, but Denise, I don't understand why it would get that name. It looks like a totally functioning, pretty useful, very adequate, clearly getting a lot of use bridge. So why would this be labeled as the bridge to nowhere? Well, to tell you that, I'd have to tell you the story. And to tell you the story, I'd have to show you this image. Take a look at this. You see this bridge here? This bridge here, the Choluteca Bridge in Honduras, is exactly the same bridge that you're looking at right here. This is the reason the Choluteca Bridge got its name, the bridge to nowhere. This Choluteca Bridge is in Honduras. And when it was built by the engineers, it was built with the objective of being able to withstand the most powerful winds, the most gruesome rainstorms, and the most aggressive hurricanes in a region that was frequently experiencing hurricanes, rainstorms, and the like in Honduras. And withstand those elements it did. Hence the reason this bridge is still standing today. Hence the reason this Choluteca Bridge is still standing today. But what happened though? Look at where the river is running. When we looked at the first image, that river was passing under the bridge as it should. So what is happening here now in this image? Because the bridge truly does fit the name, a bridge to nowhere. Well, back in 1998, what happened was the same year that the Choluteca Bridge was completed in 98 and commissioned, there was a big fanfare. Of course, the Honduran government and the people were very excited about this bridge. The thing is that that bridge, or the country Honduras, sorry, was devastated by Hurricane Mitch. Hurricane Mitch was a Category 5 hurricane, and it was the second deadliest hurricane on record for the Atlantic region at that time. Miraculously, in the face of a host of devastating elements, a lot of destruction and so on, after the dust settled in Honduras, after Hurricane Mitch had made his path through the country, so much of the Honduran infrastructure was destroyed or flooded out or damaged. It was amazing to see that the Choluteca Bridge was still intact, just as you see it here. In fact, when the waters receded, the bridge was in near perfect condition, except for one little thing. The thing about it is that the Choluteca River, which had previously flowed under the bridge, had carved itself a new path, leaving nothing but dry land in its original bed. And that is the image that you're seeing here. Thanks to Google Maps, we have an aerial view showing you that the river had changed its course. The Choluteca River no longer passed under the Choluteca Bridge. So hence, this piece of infrastructure that, as you and I both know, would have cost millions of dollars to construct, was now a bridge to nowhere. But here's the critical questions that this raises. And mind you, this is a metaphor for you and 2023 and elevating your success. This is a metaphor. This is not just us telling a story. This is a metaphor for how you are going to deal with unexpected changes in direction. Here are some of the critical questions I was telling you about. Should the engineers now try to redirect the river so that it would flow back under the bridge? Is that even an option at this point? Is that a viable choice? Or maybe the question should be this: should the engineers abandon this new Choluteca Bridge entirely and celebrate the fact that it was good while it lasted? Hey, we had a good couple days with it. Hey, no harm in that. We could celebrate the fact that it was put to full use for a short period and leave it forever as is, as the bridge to nowhere. That's another option or question that could come up. And then you have the other question, or the other option is, should the engineers perhaps build a new bridge that connects this former bridge to the new bridge? Albeit, of course, it would take a different path. But those are some of the critical questions that this crew of engineers probably would have had to contemplate. This bridge, this new, at that time new Choluteca Bridge, was built with good intentions. But the thing about it, friends, is that it no longer served the purpose for which it was originally created. And similarly, coming out of COVID, coming out of the pandemic, there was so much disruption, so much was required in terms of pivoting and changing directions and taking a different approach. So much changed as it relates to systems being disrupted, that even things that were built with good intentions at that time, it may have been a case of them no longer serving the original purpose anymore. So what do? And here's that metaphor for life. Do you, my friends, all 27 of you sitting in this virtual room right now, do you perhaps have Choluteca bridges in your life? What is your Choluteca Bridge? Remember, we're talking about elevating our success in 2023, 2023 is all about looking at structures and systems that we have in place from a personal standpoint. What are the structures that you have in place right now that served its time, that was good while it lasted, that was good while the intention was pure, that was meeting its purpose when it was originally conceived? But now we've reached a situation where it's a bridge to nowhere. It's no longer connecting you with your future, with your direction, with your calling, with your purpose in life. It no longer is. It's now an abandoned structure, a bridge to nowhere. What new structures might you design using what you already do well? Your Choluteca Bridge is already there, but it now leads to nowhere. So are there new structures that you can now craft, skills that you can lean on, pull from, internalize, tap into, delve into? What structures might you have now that you can redesign to use in a way that now helps you go after your new purpose? You've pivoted. There's a whole new direction. What structures do you need? What new ones? Are you going to revert to the way you've always done things? Is your Choluteca Bridge going to become a monument that you will now continue to treasure, to celebrate, and it literally leads to nowhere? Or are you going to abandon some of those original structures, those strategies, those initiatives, things that no longer make sense, that no longer serve the intended purpose? You're still wallowing in regret? Or are you going to use that regret as a foundation to build on in 2023? That, my friends, is the question. Will you expand your structure by redesigning your existing systems so that you're not only honoring the new direction and the new context, but you're ready to embrace all that is new and all that is waiting for you as it relates to personal growth, personal development, and all of that? What is your Choluteca Bridge? And are you still babying that bridge? You're still pampering that bridge? And it leads to nowhere?